Hello and welcome back to the main channel. Today we're doing a special video. Today we're talking about what if Doctor Who was an audience sitcom, a studio sitcom, or in general a sitcom. That's why the video is called What If Doctor Who Was a Sitcom. With the same thumbnail as yesterday, just change the word musical to the word sitcom. Now, today in itself we're talking about the assets of how do you make a comedy out of Doctor Who? Well, you have the TARDIS as in the main hub, as in you have the TARDIS as the home environment for our trusty volunteers, our travellers, and then you have like the friends as in the companions, and the villains, but you do like really comical villains, not just like the Doctor's trapped in a house or whatever. You probably have like a Drashik, for instance. You have Drashik going on wild adventures. You have Omega doing wild things. You have the Daleks have their own comical moments. And I think personally, when you look back at the idea and you analyse it, it doesn't seem that it's would work. But I know for a fact that you can really, technically, and practically make comedy pretty much out of absolutely anything. Because, well, not absolutely anything, but I know that there's a lot of comedy in certain areas in life. So I think that if Doctor Who was a sitcom, you would have to alter it so that you would have like more over the top villains rather than your really dark and disturbing villains that we've got currently, because currently it's not perceived as a sitcom. So I think that having these villains, you would have to have like comedy villains. So the Candyman from the Happiness Patrol would be a fun, interesting way to introduce the idea of having a villain that is absurd, weird, and altogether confusing. Because when you think back at Happiness Patrol as a story, and you think back to the whole thing itself, the Candyman being this giant, sweet-based villain that seems to be as weird as a lot of things, and you have to properly get into your head that even though once upon a time Doctor Who was perceived as this dark, scary type show, with this element of sitcom, you would have to say, well, that's all behind us now. But we're now a laugh out loud comic device that makes everything more happy, makes it feel like I know there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of comedy within the show already, due to the characters having comedy backgrounds and using their comical talents involved. But I think that a full-fledged studio sitcom with a studio audience would be an interesting matter to try and convey for the show itself. And I think that that's how you would make the show a lot more, I don't know, weirder, and it'll be one of those things where it's like WandaVision in the Marvel Universe. That was a woman called Scarlet Witch who would manage to block out the universe and manage to stop the universe, create her own bubble, and turn it into a wide selection of a genre of American sitcoms. And I think that having a storyline similar to that would work. So if, let's say for example, Shooty Gatwa doesn't want to regenerate. So we have a whole series of him trying to stop him from regenerating by keeping him in a bubble of like British sitcoms. So it could be in Dad's Army, it could be in 2 Down, 3 Up, no, 2 Up, 3 Down. It could be in 2 Down, 3 Up, 2 Doors Down. You Rang Me Lord, Hidey High, Upper Hand, Little Up Hand, and all these other British sitcoms. And I think that would it would be a good spin-off. But I think then they probably get sued off Marvel, knowing their luck, because obviously Marvel own the rights to the idea of trapping someone in a universe, making it into a sitcoms, and going forward. And I think that having a studio sitcom for Doctor Who would be an interesting experiment. No matter if it fails, I would like that as an experiment, and I would like to see that actually happen. I personally would love to see a studio sitcom around Doctor Who. Right? Whether or not that's a pilot, a one-off, a comic relief sketch, I don't know. Or a children need outing. I just think that it's what the show is needed to add more intrigue to it. So if you want to add a weird storyline of something not going great with one of the characters, turn it into a sitcom, then you open a load of questions of why there is a studio audience, why is it a sitcom now, what's happened, and at the very end it goes dramatic turn like WandaVision, and everything opens up and going, that's why it's been a different sitcom each week. That's why it's been a lot different than you or I could ever imagine. And I think that that's fair enough at the end of the day. You take more of an idea from it going, oh, that would work. A lot of jokes, alien jokes you could do, a lot of comedy value you can get out of Doctor Who as a sitcom. I just think that personally would work. I, for one, am both intrigued, excited, and just want to see it happen. It's got my creative juice flowing, going, oh, I could do that. If I was ever to create a Doctor Who sitcom, which I probably won't, because that's probably the hardest thing to try and convey in the situation I'm in, where I'm the only actor that plays every role in these things. So I do think that some areas would think it would be a tricky idea, a complicated idea, a convoluted idea. But in my world, it's a simple idea, and I living well like it. So there you have it. Thank you for watching the YouTube channel that's trying to be a TV show, but failing at it miserably. Thank you guys for watching. Time on out. Bye! Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.